NEL Isagi got a secret buff, specifically for his lefty shoot. Maybe. I'm not sure, so as you probably saw in the title and preview of this video, we're going to talk about NEL Isagi and whether or not he's secretly buffed in the latest update. I know it sounds a bit wild, but I've been noticing some strange things happening with Isagi, and I think there's a possibility that he's been given a bit of a boost, even though it wasn't mentioned in the patch notes. First off, let's talk about the lefty shoot, because that's the main reason I'm starting to think he might have been secretly buffed. If you've been playing recently, you might have noticed that lefty shoot has started to behave differently. I've seen model bugs happening again, and honestly it's almost like it's working just like it did when NEL Isagi was at his prime. And this time, it's not just a one-off occurrence. Lefty shoot is being triggered in more situations than I've seen before, and it's actually stronger now. Now, I'm not saying I'm 100% sure about this, but I can't ignore the fact that the lefty shoot is breaking the model again, which used to be a huge indicator that something was up. When NEL Isagi was in his prime before the nerf, we saw this bug happen, and now it seems to be back. So, is it just a bug that needs fixing, or could it actually be a hidden buff that wasn't mentioned in the patch notes? It's definitely something to think about. But before we dive deeper into that, I just wanted to remind you to hit that like button, and of course, subscribe to the channel. It motivates me to make daily content for you, so thank you so much in advance. Let's continue our topic. Now, I know some of you might be thinking, okay, but is it really a buff? Or is it just a bug that slipped through the cracks? And I totally get where you're coming from, but here's the thing. I've played around 10 to 15 matches today, and I've seen NEL Isagi pop up in almost every single one. That alone is unusual because before the update, it felt like NEL Isagi players were really rare. So is it just that more people are using him because of this potential change? Or is there something actually happening behind the scenes? Like I said earlier, lefty shoot is now consistently working in situations where it didn't before, and it's almost like it's got more power behind it. Even if it's a bug, it's definitely making him feel stronger. But let's be clear, I don't have confirmation that he's been buffed, and we'll have to see if this change gets patched in a future update. For now, I'm just pointing out the fact that NEL Isagi feels stronger, and we shouldn't overlook that. Moving on to the latest update, I know a lot of you have been testing out Sei and Shido's reworks, and honestly I have some mixed feelings about it. I've been trying out both of them, and here's the thing. They feel weaker after the update. I get that Sei has been balanced, but to be honest, something just feels a bit off. Maybe it's just because I've played with Sei for so long, but his dribbling and arm swipe don't feel as good anymore. For instance, arm swipe doesn't really push the opponent like it used to. Instead, it feels like the opponent freezes for a second, and it's just not as effective as it should be. It almost feels like Sei's move pool has become a little too basic. And then there's Shido. His shots feel weaker too. In the past, his shots were unstoppable, but now they just don't have the same impact. Even though he's a striker, his moves feel a bit too soft. I think he needs a buff to make him more effective. Sure, his moves are still okay, but they lack that edge he used to have. But you know what's the biggest problem with this update? The missing animations and the bugs. I've noticed that there are a lot of bugs that are seriously affecting the gameplay experience. The lefty shoot bug is one of the main issues, but there are other animations that aren't displaying properly either. It's frustrating because we've been waiting for this update for a while, and it feels like some of the hype was lost due to these technical issues. It's starting to feel like bugs are becoming standard in the game, which isn't good. I get that bugs happen in any game, but this is starting to feel like a pattern. We really need more polish in these updates, especially when it comes to animations and bug fixes. Let's circle back to NEL Isagi. The big question here is whether he has been buffed recently, or if this is just a bug that slipped through the update. Now, I've said this before, and I'll say it again. It could be either. But honestly, after playing for a while and paying attention to how his lefty shoot works, I'm starting to lean towards this being a bug rather than an intentional buff. Despite that, it's worth diving into because his lefty shoot is behaving in ways it never has before. And the fact that I'm running into more NEL Isagi players in my matches now definitely suggests something has changed. It's important to mention that I'm still not 100% sure he's been buffed. I could be completely wrong, and this could just be a random bug that will eventually be fixed. However, if this is a bug, it seems to have improved his gameplay overall. The lefty shoot feels more powerful, and it's been triggering more often than it did before, so it's a change worth noting. I'd recommend taking advantage of this while it lasts because if this is indeed a bug, it's likely going to get patched sooner or later. Either way, NEL Isagi seems to be in a better state now, even if it's just for a short period. Now, moving on to lucky spins, for those of you who don't have Say yet, I definitely recommend aiming for him. Even after the rework, he's still one of the best picks in the game, and with the new moves he's gotten, he's even better than before. However, if you're thinking about going after Shido, I'd suggest putting him on the back burner for now. From what we've seen in this update, he doesn't feel as strong as he did previously, so I'd say skip him unless you're really a fan of his playstyle. Now, here's the big tip. If you're planning to save your lucky spins, I highly recommend saving them for Charles, who's coming next week. From everything we've heard from the devs, Charles will probably be a world-class style. I'm really excited to see how he'll play, especially considering the chemistry reactions he's likely to have with Shido. And of course, I'm hoping we'll get some cutscene animations for their reactions, which would be an awesome addition to the game. But we'll have to wait and see if the devs deliver on that. Oh, and I almost forgot to mention something about Say. When using Metavision on him, I've been getting this feeling that he's slower than usual. At first I thought it was just me, but after playing more matches I started noticing it more clearly. It feels like his movements become sluggish, like there's some kind of delay or slowdown when you're using Metavision. Now, I've seen the helpers in the official Discord say that this could just be an illusion, but honestly, I really wish the devs would fix this. Playing with this kind of perception issue makes it harder to make the right moves because I constantly feel like I'm missing my timing or misjudging the distance. On top of that, the colors in Metavision seem to have gotten a lot brighter for me. It's honestly distracting, and I can't quite figure out where the ball is or where it's going after a shot. It's really hard to keep track of the play when the visuals are this overwhelming. I'd love to hear from you guys. Have you noticed that Metavision has become less clear for you? Do you think it's harder to see where the ball is going, or even who has possession? Personally, I feel like it's actually made things worse because of that visual distortion. So I'm really hoping the devs will address this in an upcoming update. It's definitely something that could use a little improvement to make the gameplay experience smoother. So let's break this down. This update is definitely solid, but it's held back by bugs and missing animations, which is a bit of a letdown. The core of the update is good with reworks to Say and Shido, but the technical issues are definitely noticeable. If the devs can fix the bugs and improve the animations, I think this could end up being one of the best updates we've had. But right now, based on everything I've seen and played, I'd personally rate this update a 6 out of 10. The potential is there, but the technical problems are tough to ignore. As for NEL Isagi, it's really worth keeping an eye on him. There's a chance he has been buffed, but it could also just be a temporary bug that's giving him an extra boost. Either way, enjoy the time with him while it lasts, and let me know in the comments if you've noticed these changes too. It's always interesting to see if other players are experiencing the same thing. And don't forget, if you like this video, hit that like button, subscribe, and make sure to turn on notifications so you don't miss any updates on the latest Blue Lock Rivals news. We're getting close to 50,000 subscribers, and I just want to thank you all for your incredible support. It really motivates me to keep making videos for you. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Take care.